Hey, good morning, Facebook world. It's Shake Talk time with the best breakfast ever. This morning shake, I went boring, just chocolate vanilla this morning. That's all I got going on here. Sometimes I forget, I just kind of get into this routine and I forget that I was having fruits and greens. So I'll have my fruits and greens later in the day. Excuse me. So this happens almost every weekday morning. It's kind of when I have my shake. So I get off my conference call, I go and have a shake. It's just a few minutes. I don't know. I try and keep it under 10 minutes and it gives me something to talk about and you maybe something to think about. And who knows, maybe if you follow along, it might just improve the quality of your life. I don't know. But hello, everybody who's jumping in. Please, when you jump in, say hi. Okay, just put a little, hey, Barbie Lee, just a little thumbs up. Hit the like button a couple times, something like that. You'll see a little thumb go across the screen. Just let me know that you're here because I get like right now it says 3, but I have no idea. It's funny because some days it says 3 and it says 23 viewers, so I have no idea. So I don't know. I might just be talking to myself. So let me know. Anyway, so today is, do you believe that time management is a myth? I mentioned yesterday that I have a system for my time, so I work for myself. So I have a system for my time to make sure that I don't, I'm not working 24 hours a day or 17 hours a day that I'm awake, right? So this works. Good morning, Linda. This works even if you have a job, okay? You don't have to be self-employed to have this time system. Um, but I learned the system via T. Harv Eker because he has a money management system. Well, I don't believe you can manage time because everyone gets 24 hours in a day. There's no more hours in your actual day. Now, how long you sleep and what you do with those hours is completely up to you. I do recommend 8 hours of sleep every day, but that's just me. Excuse me. So when you're looking at where are you spending your time, there's people usually say there's an 8-8-8 rule, right? 8 times 3 is 24, 24 hours in a day. 8 hours are for sleep, 8 hours are for work, and 8 hours are for everything else. Okay? And you mean like, what do you mean everything else? So I have a little bit of a different breakdown, but you can do it nice and simple. Sleep 8 hours, work 8 hours, and the other 8 hours are for your other stuff, right? Your necessities, your building your legacy, your playtime with your kids, your whatever it is, right? Your reading time, your spiritual time, your meditation, whatever, okay? That's a really simple plan. 888. If you want to go really simple, stick with that one. Okay? Um, my friend Jessica and Fong wrote a book, and it's called Make More, Work Less, Building a Team. And look, wait, that's me. I'm a contributor to the book. So my chapter in this book is called Take Time to Pee. And in there, I explain that time management is a myth because we can't really manage time. We can manage our activities within a time frame, but we can't manage time. Having my shake and talking makes me cough, so I apologize for the coughing that's been going on. Good morning, Gurpreet. So here's how it works. You might want to grab a pen. I'm going to do a couple of these so that you can do a screenshot. So hopefully, there we go. So those are the 6 categories of time. You're going to pay yourself first. You're going to play. You're going to give, long-term saving for spending, education, and necessities. 1 through 5 is all 10%, and necessities is 50%. All right, so I'm going to move this in 3, 2, 1, done. So, good morning, Jessica. I'm talking about your book, just so you know. My chapter in your book, but your book nonetheless. So, when I'm doing my time system, I do me first. There were many years that I did other people first, and I got really sick. And that didn't do anybody any good because as soon as I was sick and I was taken down, I couldn't help anybody. Good morning. Good morning, Sheila. I know, here's my book too. So pay yourself first, right? So that's number 1. You always do this first. So when you're looking at your calendar, you're going to pay yourself first. And just so you know, this works for money as well. So 10% of your week is going to be for you, right? For you to do something, there it is. For you to do something for you that makes you a better you. Not for anybody else, not because somebody wants you to do it, nothing. It's just for you. Here's the thing. If you lose your health, where are you going to live? Mentally, what if you go crazy mentally, because you're so overstressed? Who's going to, who are you going to take care of? Who's going to take care of you? You have to take care of yourself. Okay, so that's paying yourself first. And if you want more details about this, then you have to take me for lunch and I'll share a book with you. And if you're not local, you can at least, have a Zoom conversation with me. All right, then my second one, most important, is playtime. Now, when I look at my days, right, I say getting up at 7 a.m. and going to bed 11 p.m. That's pretty typical for a lot of people, right? If you get up a little bit early, maybe go to bed a little bit early, that allows for 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so I'm calculating these on 8 hours of sleep, which is super important, Miss Ramella, when you watch this. 8 hours of sleep. So that means in my pay yourself first, I get 11 hours every week just for me. Like, that's crazy. Think about it. 11 hours just for me. Now, I know some of you are working 2 or 3 jobs and maybe you can't or whatever, but when you really break it down and you see what's missing in your life, you'll see why you're so out of balance. Okay? Number two is play, right? That's 10% of your time. So you get 11 hours. That means you could take an entire Sunday off and not feel guilty about it. Like, wouldn't that be super cool, right? Take an entire Sunday off and not feel guilty about it. I know, right? All right, next one is give. 11 hours, right? So that's it. That's at your 7 in the morning, whatever. So 10% of your time is to give, is to contribution, right? So maybe you want to volunteer with, I don't know, Boys and Girls Club. Maybe you want to volunteer at your church. Maybe your school, your grandchildren need you. I know Sheila does some volunteer with her daughter, so her daughter doesn't have to pay for daycare all the time. Sheila takes the kids. That's volunteer time. That's contribution. That's the give time, right? So you get 11 hours in your week to do that. Now, some weeks I might save up because there might be something where, I've been volunteered for an entire weekend in something, right? So I might kind of push it off one week and add it to the next week. It's totally okay. All right, the next one gets a little more confusing. Well, I'll do education first. Education's easy, right? So you get 11 hours for education. Good morning, Mr. Martin. So you get 11 hours, right? So 10% of your time for education, which means you can read those books. You can take those classes. You can listen to those podcasts. You can, takes the dance class you've always wanted to take, or, even go get a free dance lesson on a Tuesday night at what I think, on the rocks. Maybe somebody does salsa dancing here, right? Whatever it is. This one might be a little more confusing. I call it long-term savings for spending. Okay? And basically what that means is, where are you investing your time today so you can spend it later? Where are you investing your time today so you can spend it later? So for me, that's part of my network marketing business. I invest time learning, that's my education, about my profession of network marketing and getting better at it. Because if I invest that time now, I'll have more free time later, right? So it's a little bit, you have to kind of look and say, okay, where am I taking my time today so that I'm a far better person? There's a beautiful book out there called The One Thing, oh, it's not on my shelf. The One Thing, I believe it's called The One Thing. And the question in the book says, what is the one thing in doing it, in doing that such, will make everything else easier and or unnecessary? And that's that long-term savings for spending. You might take time. So getting this system in place. It is a great book, Jess. There's Jessica. Wait, whoop, there she is. You might take some time putting this system into place, but it's going to free up a bunch of time later in your world. Okay? All right, so to recap, we have pay yourself first, 10%, play, 10%, give, 10%, education, 10%, and then the long-term savings for spending, 10%. So that leaves 50% of your time for work. Now, this is where people get all wonky. The reason being is people work more often, necessities. So it's not just going to work, it's doing what's necessary at home, the groceries, the cooking, the cleaning, all that kind of stuff, okay? And for a lot of people, especially if they had kids, I know when my kids were younger, they required a lot of my attention. Martin's here. He's got 3 little people, like this big and lower, and they take a lot of time, right? Even Sheila with her grandchildren, they take a lot of time. And maybe going to work every day, maybe, because if we looked at that schedule of, from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., that gives you 55 hours. And people go, well, I go to work for more than 55 hours. Good, not good, but think about this. How can you then do the other stuff? Hello, Susan. Do the other stuff so that it might overlap. Okay, so driving to work, right? How many of you drive to work? I know I used to. I live in Mill Woods. I used to go to school in Leduc, right? Yeah, a celebrity's in the house, right? I know, it's very exciting. um, so I used to drive to Leduc. So instead of listening to the radio, I'd listen to books on tape, right? Yes, I'm that old, books on tape, okay? Maybe I would, if I was driving with somebody, there was another teacher, maybe we would strategize and plan for a day, whatever kind of thing, right? So we didn't waste the time of just sitting there and being, hello, Kimberly, good morning. We just wouldn't sit there and be, like drown out and listen to the radio. There's always things to do. If I'm doing dishes, I might be, watching a YouTube or a TED Talk or something like that, right? Often when I'm doing dishes, I actually meditate, just so you know. It's a really great process for me where I just play with the bubbles and clean the dishes and do all that kind of stuff. So there's ways to uh, layer, right? Tag things onto each other, right? So I'm going to recap again because a lot of people joined. So this is a time, I call it an activity management system, right? It's not, there we go. I want to find the place in the book. I should have just left my finger in there. Bum, 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 bum. Right. So I said, oh, this is Jessica in my book, right? She had a bunch of people collaborate. We made the books. That's very cool. So here again is the screenshot. Those are your categories. Wait, let me turn it that way. Wait, no, that way. Hopefully that's kind of straight for you. So I'll give you a screenshot. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you're going to pay yourself first. 10% of your time is for play. 10% is gift. 10% is long-term savings for spending. 10% is education. And then the 55% or 50% is necessities. When I first started doing this, I was spending so much time on my necessities, and it was crazy. And then I realized there's got to be a better way to balance and create the systems to make it all work. So I'm going to challenge you. Spend a little bit of time. So I showed you on my calendar how I work my schedule. Let me pull up something that's probably kind of blank. Here, I'll go to August because I'm heading to Vegas. So I have my blank. Okay, this is my August schedule so far. I have it all highlighted, right? Or like separated, right? I have my affirmations, my team call. I always book lunch. Do you know when you work for yourself, sometimes you forget to eat? Just saying. On my family time, I like that time. In the summer, it's not the same, but when the kids were in school, I blocked off from 3:30 to 5:30 for family time. Maybe I was doing necessities. Maybe we were making dinner. Maybe we were doing dishes and all that kind of stuff. But it was still family time. So it fed me, family wise and got things done. I didn't create this, system overnight. I have to work into it. It was just like when I was doing when I did this with the money. I was like 55% for necessities. I'm paying 98% of my money is going to all my necessities. But for some reason, when you put things into systems and into place, everything just flows better. So take some time today and the next day. And if you have any questions, just post them, send me a message, give me a call if you have my number. Just ask, because here's the thing. Since I started doing this, I no longer feel guilty if a friend says to me, can we go for a walk? Can we go for lunch? And instead of going, oh, I'm supposed to be working, I can go, you know what? I can rearrange some of my me time and totally make this work because I love going to lunch with friends and it really builds me up. Kimberly, you are brilliant. Systems do work and it frees up so much else in your life. So I have a system for time. I have a system for my money. I have a system for, well, maybe I'll talk about my food system tomorrow, right? How I do menus and how I do my ordering. I'll do that one tomorrow. Okay, because I've already been on too long. All right, so if you have any questions, post them below. And hopefully when you lay your head on the pillow tonight, when you lie down, you go, thank you. I've improved the quality of my life just a little bit. And just go with it. All right, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Have a great day.